Hello, dreamers! Welcome back to Dandelion Daydreams. Today, we're exploring a funny and clever tale that teaches us the importance of honesty and not being afraid to speak the truth. It's the classic story of the Emperor's New Clothes. So snuggle in and let's journey into this curious kingdom together. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived an emperor who loved clothes more than anything else in the world. He had robes made of velvet, cloaks embroidered with gold, and hats with the fluffiest feathers. But no matter how much he had, it was never enough. Morning, noon, and night, he was thinking about what to wear next. He cared so much about fashion that he often ignored important matters of the kingdom, just so he could change outfits several times a day. While other rulers met with advisors or helped their people, this emperor was busy strutting around his palace in fancy new shoes. One day, two strangers arrived at the city gates. They claimed to be master weavers, and they had an extraordinary offer. "We can make you a suit of clothes," they told the emperor, so magnificent and magical that only the wisest and most worthy people will be able to see it. The emperor's eyes lit up. Imagine owning clothes that only the clever and capable could see. He immediately hired the weavers, gave them a large sum of gold, and ordered them to begin work right away. The weavers set up looms in a grand room of the palace, pretending to weave all day long. But in truth, they were spinning nothing at all. There was no thread, no fabric, no cloth, just empty air and clever trickery. Curious about the progress, the emperor sent one of his most trusted advisors to check on the work. The man entered the room and looked at the looms, but saw nothing, not a single thread. "Oh no," he thought, "I don't see any fabric, but that must mean I'm unworthy or foolish." Not wanting to be thought a fool, he cleared his throat and said, "Marvelous! What fine colors and patterns!" The emperor was thrilled by the report and sent another official to look. That man also saw nothing but air, but just like the first, he pretended to admire the invisible cloth, praising its delicate texture and sparkling design. Soon, the emperor himself went to see the masterpiece. Of course, he saw nothing, but he didn't want to admit it. Instead, he smiled and nodded. "How splendid! I must wear it at once," he declared. The weavers bowed and pretended to drape the clothes over him. They mimed tying buttons and smoothing sleeves, all while the emperor stood proudly in, well, nothing. The next day, a grand parade was held. The emperor marched through the streets in his new clothes, and the crowd cheered, though no one could see anything. But just like the officials, no one wanted to seem foolish, so they clapped and nodded and said, "What a glorious outfit." That is, until a small child tugged at their mother's sleeve and called out, "But he's not wearing anything at all." A hush fell over the crowd. People looked around, startled. Then someone else said, "The child is right." Another murmured, "He's wearing nothing." Suddenly, laughter bubbled up through the crowd. People couldn't believe what they had been pretending to see. The emperor turned red with embarrassment, but he kept walking, his head held high, even though he was quite clearly not dressed at all. And from that day on, the emperor was a little less vain, and the kingdom remembered how important it is to be honest, even if you're the only one brave enough to speak the truth. And that, dreamers, is the tale of the Emperor's New Clothes. A story that reminds us to trust our eyes, speak up kindly, and never be afraid to question what everyone else accepts. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more magical stories from Dandelion Daydreams. Keep dreaming, dreamers, and we'll see you in the next adventure.